Hey guys, just a very quick, well, probably not going to be that quick. Thank you, Vid, for 10,000 subscribers. I hit 10,000 subscribers, I think, yesterday. It's a pretty massive milestone for me. The channel's been going kind of like a year and a bit, maybe a year and a half. So 10,000 subs is huge. Never thought I would get this far or potentially that fast, but hey, it's all down to you guys supporting the channel by watching, liking, subscribing. Some of you guys have sent me gear, all kinds of ways of support. It's all very much appreciated, sharing the word on social media. So yeah, just a very big thank you to all you guys for supporting the channel. All the guys have sent gear, especially, big thanks to you guys as well. You all know who you are. There's been a lot of flags and jerseys come through as well. Jordan, who edits the videos that have got the fancy graphics, very, very big supporter of the channel as well. So yeah, what is it? 10,000 subs, 1.9 million views, 647 videos. So yeah, it's been an interesting time with the channel, covering all these different teams. To be fair, when I started the channel, it was mostly just Super Rugby and looking towards the kind of Southern Hemisphere games, All Blacks, South Africans, Australians, all that jazz. But over the time of the channel, I've had a lot more exposure to the European games, which perhaps previously I may have just watched when I had time, but I actually sat down and watched and discussed with you guys. I learned a lot. You guys in the comments have been really helpful, and yeah, it's been a big eye opener as well. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Recent arrivals are all these flags: Premiership flag, Leicester Tigers, Sale Sharks, Exeter Chiefs, who just lost the Premiership final in what seems like it was a cracking game. I haven't seen it yet. Saracens, who won that final. Spoiler alert. Harlequins. Those all came from James. So James, thank you very much for sending those through. But yeah, I've got another jersey to open in a minute. But first, I will get through these Q&A questions which you guys have sent through. I believe I've got them all. I noted them down in OneNote, which my work keeps encouraging me to use OneNote rather than using paper to note down stuff. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did miss something, apologies for that. But I'll go through these Q&A questions, and yeah, then I'll unbox this final box, which has been sitting here waiting for me for a special occasion to open, and what better occasion than 10,000 subscribers. So, I'll try to get through these questions pretty quickly because there are a fair few. Q&A questions from Grant. Who would be my choice of All Black or Springbok coaches for after the World Cup? I would say Johan Ackermann for the Springboks. And who would I like for the All Blacks? Scott Robertson, but do I think it'll be him? No, probably not. From Ellis, what countries have you traveled to? What's your job outside of YouTube? I have obviously been to New Zealand, around a few cities. I have been to Australia because I got family there. And I lived in China for about 7 years before. So those are the only three. I've been to the airports in Malaysia and Singapore, but not all that well traveled, to be fair. I need to get to Europe at some point. Hey, watching some rugby would be a good excuse for that. What do I do at my day job? I work at a university. I kind of help run the IT service desk there. So I don't have to answer phone calls, but yeah, there's a team of guys who do that. So it's a pretty busy job. From NZAM, did you ever want to be a rugby player? Yes, but I was too skinny. I was a fast bowler, medium fast at opening batsman when I played in school. So yeah, wasn't ever going to be. From Fleshen, do you have a second international side you like to keep an eye on? I mean, traditionally it's just been the South Africans and the Australians, and more recently the Argentinians because of that kind of rugby championship connection. But always I used to keep an eye on Wales, because I got a Welsh surname, and it's not Davis and it's not Jones, but yeah, traditionally that's what it's been. But hey man, since the channel, I follow a lot of teams. From You Will Never Know My Name, and That's Not My Problem, who do you think is an outsider team to do well at the Rugby World Cup? I'm not sure if you can say Australia, because are they an outsider? Have they fallen that low? I think they could do better than expected, but if you're looking at true outsider, maybe Fiji. Even at this point, you could say maybe they're not counted as an outsider anymore because they are too strong. From Kevin, Will New Zealand rest any big name players during the Rugby Championship to save them from injury in the World Cup? I would say yes, most probably. From Zane, what do you think the chances of the Springboks winning the 2019 Rugby World Cup? If they can get out of their quarterfinal, I think there's every reason they can go on and win it, but we'll see. From Dylan, who will finish the top 8 in Super Rugby? Probably Crusaders, Jaguares, Brumbies will be the conference winners. Hurricanes will be 4th. And then let's say the Bulls get another win. The Stormers, even though they lost recently, got 2 very winnable last home games. Who else? Maybe the Highlanders, they got 2 home games to finish. They could sneak in. And I don't think the Chiefs will do it, but maybe the Lions. So yeah, those are my guys. From Tristan and also from Shane, who do you think will win the Rugby World Cup 2019? I have to say New Zealand, because I'm a Kiwi and we're number 1 in the world, so why not New Zealand? I like it the fact that we've got South Africa in our pool, because they'll give us a good run. I think sometimes it's good to have a real good test, but it's the first game which could leave us a bit underdone going to the quarterfinal. We will see. From Justifier09, it's a couple of pretty long questions, but I will summarize them. My power rankings that I do for Super Rugby, would I be able to kind of use more detailed stats about like the teams that are playing, kind of thing, if you play a B team? Nah, probably I'll keep it simple. I'm time poor, so I keep things as simple as possible, but it would be nice if I did have more time. And do you think Super Rugby would do better with a blend of more like a 7 style, where they cluster the teams and play together at a certain location on a certain week? I guess potentially, but would you be able to sell neutral games to people for Super Rugby? Sometimes it's hard enough to get people to attend home games, so yeah. Decent idea though. From Chad, if you could meet one rugby legend, who would it be? If it was somebody kind of in the game today, it'd probably be Rassie Erasmus, because he seems not only smart but also funny. So I think sitting down with him would be pretty entertaining. If it was somebody who's already passed away, probably Colin Meads from New Zealand. He's a bit of a legend here, and supposedly a pretty top bloke when he was alive. Pronunciation here from Wee or Fair. What do you think about an Exiles 15 at the Rugby World Cup? Yeah, that'd be cool, but I don't think it'll happen. Wouldn't be the purity of the game. Imagine if they won. From Philip, do you think if there was ever to be a World Club Championship, how would it be formatted? I think if they were going to have the best of the South club, Crusaders against the best of the North, Saracens, I think it would have to just be one game. The schedule is already that tight that just a one-off game, and it has to be at a time that kind of works for both teams, which will be tricky, but a one-off game. Hopefully they both take it seriously and don't play their B teams. Will Rugby X be a success? That's the 5s, isn't it? So maybe. I don't follow 7s enough as I should. So be nice. I mean, if rugby stuff is getting popular, that's only a good thing for the rest of the game. From Hannes, pronunciation maybe is not correct. Have anyone tell you ever look like Andre Pollard? Yeah, a few people have told me I look like Andre Pollard. I showed my wife his picture and she says, no, you don't. So yeah, I wish I played like him. But from Mark, who has been very generous with the jerseys. I'm wearing a jersey that he sent through. I tried to put up some jerseys that I don't really get to show that much on the channel, but I might get to a chance to show some of these in the coming months, I guess. Are most of your subscribers from the Northern or Southern Hemisphere? He guesses Northern. Well, I had a look at the analytics. Over the lifetime of the channel, the top groups are, and they're all between 10 and 19%, so no one group is 20%. UK is number 1, South Africa is number 2, Ireland number 3, New Zealand number 4, and Australia number 5. That is the top 5, and they're all between 10 and 20%. The next, who are all more than 1%, as USA, Canada, Argentina, Germany, France, and Fiji. Everything else is less than 1%, so it's actually a pretty even balance. It tends to fluctuate depending on what time of the year it is and what competition's going on. Like Six Nations time, I had more northern views. Rugby Championship, I'll probably get more southern. From Catherine and Paul, do you think the constant changes of climate is affecting the ability of the South African teams in the Pro 14? Yeah, probably. It's pretty hard to go from summer and winter all that time. The Sunwolves have it a little bit in Super Rugby because Super Rugby starts at the end of summer in the Southern Hemisphere, so it's the end of winter, and their last game just played in Japan this week was played in pretty hot conditions because it's just the start of their summer, whereas everywhere else is pretty cool down here. So yeah, same thing, it has to have an effect, doesn't make their life any easier. From Jack, and this is a tricky question. Who, in your opinion, is the best player from each Super Rugby franchise? Which is tricky, but I've had a crack. Blues, Rico Ioane. Chiefs, Brodie Retallick. Hurricanes, Bowden Barrett. Crusaders is such a tough one, Sam Whitelock. Highlanders, Ben Smith. Reds, Samu Karevi. Waratahs, Michael Hooper. Brumbies, David Pocock, not that he's played that much this season. Rebels, Will Genia. Sunwolves, Michael Little, again, not that he's played that much this year. Sharks, that was the hardest one. I've gone with Lucanio Am because I really like him. Bulls, Andre Pollard. Lions, Malcolm Marks. Stormers, Evan Etzebeth. Again, lots of choices there. Khaleesi, Pesatu Toy, heaps of choices. Jaguares, Pablo Matera. I like him a lot. So, yep, there's a stab at each of them. It's Your Boy asks, if you could pick a position to play and if you had the ideal position, ideal body for that position, what would you play? I'd probably play winger if I had the body for a winger because you don't seem to get crunched as much and you get a bit of glory. Yeah, who would want to be like a number 7 and put your neck through that? Nah. Also, are you ever going to travel to away games? Why don't you come to Christchurch? Well, this year I've been to Hamilton for an away game. I have previously been to Dunedin for an away game. I've been to Sydney for an away game once. Kind of a holiday tied with that as well. I'm thinking about an away trip for the quarterfinals. Obviously, my Blues are not going to make the quarterfinals, so potentially yes. But we'll see. Who's your favourite current All Black? Probably Ben Smith. He just seems like a pretty all-rounded, well-rounded bloke. Yeah, good guy. From Rihan, how much money do you make on this YouTube channel? Yeah, I'm not sure. I have seen YouTube videos that talk about exact dollars and cents amounts. I'm not sure if you're allowed to, so I'm going to keep it vague. A rugby jersey, if you buy one new in New Zealand, costs at least 150 New Zealand dollars. So I mean, the monthly money YouTube pays me for this channel fluctuates greatly depending on how many views I get, but I could buy at least one rugby jersey a month if I wanted to spend the money on that. But like recently I just upgraded my internet to fiber, so I'm using the YouTube money to pay for that, which helps get the YouTube videos up a bit faster. Like I bought a microphone, I bought a webcam, all that kind of stuff has just been kind of squirreling away the YouTube money. Also, once, because there was one, like in November, because there were so many internationals on, was more than money than normal. And then I had a minor car accident in a car park, and I used that money to pay for the repairs of my car and the car I hit. So, hey. But yeah, not going to retire or quit my job anytime soon. From Tolly, controversies that follow refs. Basically, it's a long question, but summarized, would it be good if the Northern refs came and did some Southern competitions and vice versa, like Northern refs come and do Super Rugby? Yes, I think that would help get some consistency across the game, but as Tolly points out, financial things are probably what holds that back. But like New Zealanders always seem to struggle with the interpretations of French refs, but if we had French guys reffing Super Rugby every now and again, that might help them get used to that. So it couldn't hurt, but again, cost prohibitive. Skinny Brew Rugby, who also has a rugby YouTube channel, asks, any advice for small rugby YouTube channels to get started? And what video was your big break on YouTube? My one piece of advice would be consistent. I modeled this YouTube channel after the hockey guy who produces NHL ice hockey content. He produces a video every day, so that was the kind of basis of the channel. I decided to support him on Patreon once this channel started making money because I wouldn't have my channel if not for him. So yes, be consistent was the biggest thing I got from him. And biggest video, I did one about foreign-born players in the November test squads, and that one kind of blew up. Don't know why. I guess it's a big hot button issue, but like Augustin Pichot ended up quoting my numbers, which were just very loosely gathered, but he ended up putting that in a tweet, so there was a bit of controversy. I had a journalist from the UK contact me about that, but nothing ever came of it. So yeah, that was an interesting one. 4 Foot Nothing asks, Do you mind sharing where you get some of your jerseys from? Sure, I get a lot of the secondhand ones from Trade Me here in New Zealand, which is just like eBay. I get them from stores like Lovell Rugby, Pro Direct Rugby, which are both in the UK, because often their prices are cheaper when they're on special than buying locally here. And sometimes Rebel Sport here in New Zealand, if they have a big sale, I might buy one, but generally their prices are pretty ridiculous. So yeah. Unbiased Rugby, he also has a very good YouTube channel about rugby. What one thing do you think World Rugby could do better? Tough. Consistency among referees would be a good one. I don't know if they are the ones to handle that or whether it's the local unions, but if they could implement measures to get the game a bit more consistent, I think that would generally help get new people into the game, because it is hard when there's such a lack of consistency among refs. That's all the questions. Thank you guys for sending those in. I should say thank you to Skinny Brew and to Unbiased Rugby for those questions as well. They do have YouTube channels. Also, 1014, Gareth Mason, Driving Mall, the Imbiber, Annals of Rugby, all these guys are very supportive and helpful YouTube channels as well if you're looking for good rugby content. So yes, the last thing before I go is I got this box ages ago. There is some rugby gear in here. It's been sitting, waiting to be opened for a long time. I got it from Australia. I didn't buy it. I entered a competition, and I just happened to... They drew a few prize winners, but I happened to win the competition. And the prize was, and it's even got... It's Super Rugby related. It's got a certificate of authenticity. Look at that. Authentic and everything. About all the people who have... had a hand in this. It does come with, it's a Waratahs jersey, which I've already got one, but I don't have that one. But I guess the special bit is that this jersey, it's a large, which is not going to fit me, but I guess I could put it up on the wall somewhere, has been signed by the entire Waratahs team from the season last year. So I suppose this jersey could have a little bit of controversy about it, because it does have somewhere, what number is he? Number 6 is Israel Folau. Yeah, his signature's on my jersey as well, but it's pretty cool. Kurtley Beale, Michael Hooper, who else was in that team that's most people would know? Tangile Nairavoro, he's a big boy. Michael Wells, one of my favorite underrated players. Yeah. Bernard Foley. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It's a signed rugby jersey. I might have to put it on the wall or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's not every day that I get a signed jersey. As I said, fortunately I didn't have to pay for it, because I'm sure I've seen these things for sale. They generally go for a fair bit. So yeah, I'll think about what to do with that jersey. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys again for all the questions, for the Q&A, for supporting the channel. It's all very much appreciated. The channel has come a long way. As I said, from me sitting on the floor, I think I owned like 4 or 5 rugby jerseys when I started the channel. There's a lot more now. All you guys have sent through all that gear. Very, very generous. It's all very humbling. I now have a chair to sit on. So yeah, going up in the world, I guess. Yeah, once again, thank you guys so much. And yeah, I will talk to you again soon. See you later.